History is full of these epic tales of empires rising and falling. But what about the stories that got lost? The civilizations that popped up, did incredible things, and then just vanished, leaving behind nothing but whispers in the sand. Well, today, we're going to dig into one of those lost worlds.
So, here we are. This is Shahr-e Sukhteh, a massive Bronze Age archaeological site in southeastern Iran. Its name in Persian is pretty chilling. It literally means the burnt city. And for thousands of years, these ruins have been holding on to the secrets of a society that was complex, creative, and then, all of a sudden, just gone.
And that really gets to the heart of the mystery, doesn't it? I mean, we all know about Mesopotamia, we know about ancient Egypt, but what if there was another culture just as important living right alongside them, and we're only now starting to piece its story together? Okay, let's dive into this puzzle.
Shahr-e Sukhteh is a total enigma. The things archaeologists are finding here are so unique, so different from the cultures nearby, that they think this city could literally rewrite our history books. It might just prove the existence of a major civilization completely independent of ancient Mesopotamia.
Okay, so let's get our bearings here. We are talking about a city that was alive and kicking over 5,000 years ago. For more than 1,000 years, from around 3550 to 2300 BC, this place was a major urban hub. But why the burnt city? Yeah, we are definitely getting to that. Before it was a pile of ruins, Shahr-e Sukhteh was a booming metropolis. And look, this wasn't just some tiny little outpost. It was one of the biggest cities of its era, a real testament to what people could build in what is now a pretty harsh desert.
Now, this is what I find so fascinating. Just look at the timeline here. It starts off as a small settlement, right? And then, within just a few centuries, it absolutely explodes to 80 hectares. I mean, that's an incredible boom, a sign of amazing success and wealth before it was all abandoned.
And this is just brilliant. It shows you how advanced they were. You see, the city wasn't just some messy, chaotic sprawl. No way. It was carefully planned out, with specific zones for where people lived, where artisans worked, where they had their big public buildings, and even a massive separate area just for the dead. That kind of organization points to a seriously structured society.
40,000. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's the estimated number of graves they found in the city's cemetery. This enormous necropolis, covering 25 hectares, doesn't just tell us about the huge population that lived here for centuries. It gives archaeologists an unbelievable window into their lives, their health, even what they believed in.
And what this tells us is that the city was anything but isolated. It was a buzzing international hub. The pottery, the goods they found here, they show trade routes stretching for hundreds of kilometers, connecting this place to the great cultures of Central Asia and the Indus Valley. It was a real crossroads of the ancient world.
All right, now this is where the story goes from interesting to absolutely mind-blowing. Because the people of the burnt city weren't just traders, they were innovators. The discoveries here have revealed a series of incredible firsts in human history.
I mean, just take a look at this list. The world's first animation, the first known prosthetic eye, the oldest complete board game ever found, and, get this, evidence of successful brain surgery. Any one of these is amazing, but all of them together? It paints a picture of a culture that was astonishingly advanced.
So check this out. This is an earthen goblet, and on it are 5 pictures of a goat in a sequence. If you imagine spinning it, you see the goat jump up to nibble on some leaves from a tree. It's basically one of the world's very first examples of animation, created thousands of years before we ever dreamed of film.
And then there's this. And honestly, this is just wow. It's an artificial eye made from a light bitumen paste covered in a thin layer of gold with these little sunray patterns carved into it. They found it in the grave of a woman, and get this, microscopic analysis shows she actually wore it. It was held in her eye socket with golden thread. The skill involved here, both medically and artistically, it's just staggering.
And hey, for all you board game fans out there, get ready for this. This is the oldest complete game set ever discovered, with the dice, all the pieces, everything. This thing completely rewrites the book on the history of games. It proves that sitting down to play a complex game with rules is a passion we humans have had for a very, very long time.
Okay, but all this brilliance brings us right back to that ominous name, doesn't it? The burnt city. For all of its incredible innovation, this amazing civilization came to a fiery, sudden end. And the big question is, why?
This quote from an archaeologist's report is absolutely chilling.
It gives you a real sense of the raw destruction. This wasn't a city that people just walked away from. Parts of it were violently destroyed by fire, leaving behind this thick blanket of ash for us to find thousands of years later.
Right, so the key thing to get here is that this wasn't just a one-time thing. The name Burnt City is well earned. The city was torched at least 3 separate times during its history. It actually managed to recover from the earlier fires, but that final disaster, around 2300 BC, that was the one it never came back from. The city was totally abandoned.
So, where does that leave us? What does all this mean? Well, rediscovering Shahr-e Sukhteh isn't just about digging up cool old artifacts. It's about adding a whole new, totally unexpected chapter to the story of early human civilization. You know, for the longest time, we've all been taught that Mesopotamia was the cradle of civilization, period. But Shahr-e Sukhteh, it throws a huge wrench in that simple story. Its one-of-a-kind culture and all these incredible inventions suggest it was a major independent powerhouse of its own, a peer to the great empires, not just some backwater town.
And look, this isn't just some fringe theory. In 2014, the rest of the world officially recognized how important this place is. Making it a UNESCO World Heritage Site confirms that its story has outstanding value for all of us.
The story of the burned city really leaves you with this one big question. If a city this brilliant, this advanced, could thrive for 1,000 years and then be so completely forgotten, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other incredible worlds like this are still out there, buried under the sand, just waiting for us to find them?